Hello and welcome to The Bigger Picture. Of course, I'm Matthews Frank.
And I'm Kiara Montero. Hey guys, I'm back. Hey guys, y'all missed me. So if you guys don't remember from last season, here at The Bigger Picture, we're all about recognizing organizations here on campus that you may never heard of.
So, you back?
I know, it's good to be back. It's good to be back on campus, in the studio. I really missed my co-host, guys, if you guys didn't know. I know he missed me.
I miss her too. You're right. So, how's it feel to be back in, well, let's start off with how it feels back to be in Oswego. Let's start off with that.
So that's definitely been an adjustment. Just because last semester, I could say I was on a worldwide tour, and now being back in Oswego, it's definitely just like more academic focus. I think last semester I had a good balance between academics and traveling. So just transitioning to being an actual student has been a little challenging, but definitely worth it. I got to come back from my last semester, and I feel like that within itself is a very good accomplishment to just like close out my college career where it all started. Mm-hmm. Like I wouldn't have imagined like going away from my last semester and then never coming back to Oz, because I know there's some people that do that, and I don't think that would have worked out for me. But
okay, and then what is the difference like from being on a boat for a whole semester compared to being, on an actual college campus?
The lake winds. I mean, actually, the winds were kind of crazy because when you're at sea, like sometimes it gets a little windy. But definitely just the weather has been a huge adjustment. I think my routine last semester, just like waking up on a ship, I would like go to the gym, do sunset yoga, like stuff like that. And now,
not to mention, you were without Wi-Fi at some points.
Yes. Oh my God, that was one of the best things too. Like just being able to disconnect and like kind of just having that time for myself. I think that like gave me a lot of time to just have downtime, self-reflect. Just soaking into the experiences that I was living through. And now we're just here taking capstones. Oh my God.
Yep. I mean, it's crazy to think of because we started this show March 2020, literally the week prior to when we were sent home for COVID.
And at the time, it was Oz Anonymous, y'all.
Yeah, it wasn't even called The Bigger Picture. It was called Oz Anonymous. And now we're on season 3. Our last season. Damn. Eek. This is crazy to think of. I'm actually like, it's not going to hit me that we're on the last season, I think, until the very last episode. Mm-hmm. I might just cry.
It's definitely bittersweet. But I think yesterday I was actually a part of like a leading ladies panel for Women's Center. And one of the questions was, what's one of your biggest accomplishments being on campus? And The Bigger Picture is definitely one of those. I remember just being in our room in Hart Hall, just brainstorming how we wanted to be involved in WTOP, and now we're really here, and like and one way or another we definitely created an impact that we wanted on this campus community, and that's just like very rewarding within itself. So I'm just excited to see what this season has in store and to just be back for this last season.
Yeah, because I remember
it's gonna be dope.
Facts. I remember me personally, I started WTOP September of 2019, and I did the Tuesday night news. And I remember when that was over, I was like, I want to have my own show. And like, I remember me and Kara spoke. We made the whole presentation. We made the whole rundown of the show, and like it was different compared to what it is now. But like it was kind of still the same basis. It's really grown to what it is now. So I'm just happy that we made it this far, and like it's the bigger picture, yo.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and don't worry, we're continuing this. After we graduate college, this will be continued. So stay tuned. But anyways, before we jump into tonight's guest, let's talk about some upcoming events that you should attend if you have some time, of course.
So as you may all know, the month of March is Women's History Month, so join SUNY Oswego's Women's Center as they present a month-long events dedicated to women. This month will be illuminated with their charity ball happening Saturday, March 5th at 5 p.m. in Sheldon Hall. $10 are available tickets and $15 for alumni, and tickets are sold in the box office.
Since we are on the topic of Women's History Month, don't forget to join the Bold Black Beauties as they present their Black Girl Magic Brunch. This brunch is all about celebrating Black women and creating a safe space for them to connect. This will take place Saturday, April 1st in the Space from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Tickets are just $8 at the SUNY Oswego box office.
And don't forget to also connect with the Educational Opportunity Office for their EOP advocacy, so supporting the Educational Opportunity Program as they continue their EOP advocacy campaign. This helps out with support for more EOP funding, so if you yourself are an EOP student, then stop by the EOP office in Penfield Library and share your story.
And last, but definitely not least, save the date for April 21st as 2.5 presents their 14th annual Raise Your Voice, which the theme this year will be Teal Around the World. 2.5 is currently looking for any students who are interested in acting or being a part of their annual Raise Your Voice scenes. All these scenes will be depicting of a real world scenario. So please, if you are interested, email us at 2.5@oswego.edu or send us a direct message on their social media. I will be seeing it.
So stay tuned for after the break as we will be joined by our first guest of season 3. I know you guys want to find out who.
Welcome back to Major Discussions.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
Welcome back to the bigger picture. Tonight we are joined by the Black Student Union. So let me give you a little rundown of what the Black Student Union is. The Black Student Union of SUNY Oswego was founded in 1968. Since then, their mission has been to spread information concerning Black people by educating the campus community about the culture through weekly programs and events. Tonight, we are joined with the Black Student Union's Director of Programming, Janae Robertson, and of course, Madam President, Autumn Jones. Welcome to the bigger picture.
Welcome, guys. Thank you for coming on and joining us tonight. So today we just want to get a better idea of what Black Student consists of, and for your personal experience, what was your drive and intention when joining Black Student Union?
For me, it started before I even applied here. Like I had a friend who was, she was president, my sophomore year, but she had been in BSU before, of course, because that's how you qualify. And she had been like telling me about the orgs and stuff. She'd tell me about like Alana, and when she was telling me about these orgs, it like showed like, oh, I can go to a PWI and still have my people around me and not feel like I'm really like far away from like New York City or something, because that's where I'm from. So my drive was really being able to like feel safe and included on campus and already having a connection to someone very important to the org from jump.
Okay.
Yeah, mine was pretty much the same as Autumn's, like, but I didn't know anyone prior to coming to the school. I pretty much came here and I went to the involvement fair and I saw a lot of people that looked like me. And so Black Student Union stood out the most because, you know, that's what I am. So, and then I joined as a committee member, and then when it was elections time, I ran for DOP, took her spot. Now she's pres, so it was pretty much just that, finding my people.
And do you guys feel like you guys made the right decision joining the Black Student Union? Like looking at it now from when you guys first joined to now?
Yeah.
A little bit on that?
Like, if I didn't, I would have been so bored here.
Like, yeah, I agree.
That's why I tell people, like, you say you're bored at school, like, or at least at this school, do you do anything other than school at school? Because you can do a lot more things. Like, you don't even have to be on the board to have fun. You don't even have to join the committee, honestly. You could just show up to stuff whenever you can and be entertained. Because if it wasn't for the orgs, I would have been like, really?
Yeah.
Just class.
School, just class.
Just straight class.
So exciting. It's not.
Yeah, I agree with Autumn because even last year, after my freshman year, like, I was just like, this school is so repetitive. And I feel like with the orgs, like, we bring kind of like flavor to the school in a sense. Like, it makes it so much more fun and kind of exciting to be here. Otherwise, it's just like, I'm just here to be here, you know?
You have something to look forward to. I think that's the biggest thing, like being a part of like an organization. Like, you just have something that keeps you going. Because sometimes you don't, you know, we're here to do school, but like that gets exhausting. So just having something to like keep you going and like downtime too at the end of the day.
Yeah, especially for the semesters where you have like the really boring classes, like let's say your gen eds or something, or just like, you know, I don't know if everyone has a writing plan or something, but like the writing plan is so boring. And especially last semester, oh my God, my classes were not theater, and I'm a theater major. So it's like, I had nothing exciting going on in class.
That was me, like, when we first came to the school, I was honestly confused why I was taking nothing that was in my broadcasting, journalism, communication field. I was just taking like math, history, criminal justice. And don't get me wrong, I had fun in like some of the classes. Like, criminal justice was a great class, but like, why was I taking that? Like, it didn't make no sense to me. But let's move on to the next question. So, how is it like keeping up with such a big legacy that BSU has, with it being the first multicultural organization, of course, alongside the Latino Student Union? So, like, you know, keeping up with that legacy, how does it feel? Because remember, I don't mean to put the fear in you, but like, there was so many other e-boards and like past alumni that they paved the way for where we at now. We're continuing to pave the way for like the future people who join the e-board. So like, how it feels to make that history.
Fun fact: one of my high school teachers was on like BSU in Oswego too. So when I applied, I was like, oh, girl, that's crazy.
And then I know you guys saw that post SUNY made.
Yeah, that we were the first.
You guys were the first.
We were the first SUNY to have a BSU.
That's really dope.
Props to Oswego.
Yeah. Surprised that Oswego could do that.
I could go first. Yeah. I would say, like, as director of programming, especially during Black History Month, I feel like it's a lot of pressure, especially from like the alumni. Well, not even too much on me as it is on her as president, because like they expect everything to be so perfect. I feel like during the rest of the academic year is not too bad, but during Black History Month specifically, like, you feel that pressure on you.
Yeah, and it's like what Janae said, the president position, all eyes on you.
Yeah.
That's why I said I felt that, because everybody's watching.
Like, any little thing that's wrong, but like, okay, but why didn't you do that?
Exactly.
And she's like, you know, I made a mistake, or just I was doing all the other things that a president got to do.
Yeah.
Some things get missed, or I just didn't know I had to do some stuff. So like, that pressure was pressure. Like, it was pressing, you know? It was always thinking about, like, you know, it's been since 1968, it's 2023, and we got to keep it going over 50 years. Like, oh my God, there's a lot on your plate to get that month done. And if you don't have the proper support, you're going to crumble. So, like, that's why, like, I appreciate my e-board so much, especially Janae, because, child, you can't do it by yourself, and like, you need other people to really have like their brain there. If you don't care or whatever, then it's gonna be even harder. So like, having people around to relieve the pressure, like, even if they're not even like doing the job for you, like just hearing you out and understanding why you're stressed is very helpful.
Having a good e-board.
Yeah.
That really does help.
I think it's because also, like, every time coming back spring semester and going into February, everyone knows that month of February, BSU is delivering the event. So you have to, like, that's a lot of pressure.
And they're like just waiting on
us.
Month. It's like, oh, first big event, like,
Especially a variety show. Everybody be waiting for that.
And then even in the fall semester, like, the pressure is still on because we have 3 events technically, because especially with the Peace Walk with Alana Week, like, the pressure is on us because we're supposed to have like the biggest event. So even in the beginning of fall and spring, it's like, damn, I got like plan things out and stuff. I gotta do all this stuff. And that's just a preview for spring. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Well, you guys are definitely doing the damn thing. So like, you definitely said that you wanted to find like a space for you when you came to SUNY Oswego. So what do you feel like is the importance of having an organization like BSU being at a PWI?
It's very important. Like, the importance, oh my God, it's like through the roof. Because without it, like we said, you're going to be bored. Like, and then also you're not going to be able to express yourself. Without multicultural orgs, you really feel isolated, even if you have like other people around. But like, it's a place where like you get to express your culture without being ostracized. That's how that word is. So I feel like it's really important to have these things because it keeps the students alive. Like not literally, hopefully, but like it keeps us alive, that keeps us going because we have something to, like you said earlier, look forward to, you know, and
representation.
Yeah, represent ourselves because this school, it's a PWI, you know?
You need some type of representation. Like, this is your home for 4 years, so having that space, like, that goes a long way. It really makes or breaks someone's college experience if you think about that.
Yeah.
It really does.
And so, like, for Janae, since you are fairly new to SUNY Oswego, how did you feel about joining a multicultural organization like BSU and in a predominantly PWI campus? How did that feel for you?
It felt really good because after joining, well, the orgs I'm on for the most part, which are multicultural, I feel like I finally found my people. Yeah. Like, I kept saying that, but literally, like, I was a bio major when I first came in. So that didn't help at all because in majority of my classes, there was nobody there that looked like me, you know? So when I joined orgs and stuff, like, I started making friends with people, even though, like, I had people who I met, like, freshman week or whatever. It's just, like, now I actually find people that really like me, like, y'all understand the stuff I go through, you know, stuff like that. So it's, like, it made it a little, well, not a little bit easier, way easier and way more fun my freshman year for sure.
I felt that. Okay. So, I know Autumn, you were once DOP. Janae, you are the current DOP. So let's talk about what does programming look for BSU on a week-to-week basis. So let me hear about how you guys come up with the topics, how you guys come up with the presentation, how is it like presenting, how important is presenting these programs? Like, there's a lot
that goes into it.
Let's go one by one.
Okay.
So how we think of the topics, I mean, like over the summer and the winter, we started like brainstorming ideas of like, let's say like current events and stuff, like hot topics pretty much, like maybe you see on
For
TikTok, Instagram, like stuff that like our people are talking about. We'll like try to make it into a program, either educational, interactive, or a mix of both, or like a whole just game or whatever. And then like we make sure that when we present it, it's still relevant or something. And it could also just be something overall relevant, like not just like a current event, just like something overall. Like yesterday we had you do a program about being financially stable, literacy and all that stuff. It was a good program.
I learned a lot.
And that's something that's like an overall like issue of people not knowing stuff rather than just something current, like let's say, oh, this hairstyle is trending or something like that. You know, like locks.
Yeah.
She did.
Don't forget to get your hair done by Janae.
Yeah. Slay by name.
Look her, y'all.
How about you, Janae? Since you are the current DOP, how does it feel?
I actually really like presenting. I feel like, one thing it builds my presentation skills, of course. Like, I'm doing this every week. And the programs are not too bad. I feel like now I'm trying to get somebody to shadow for me as DOP. And I'm trying to explain to them, if you really like presenting, or even if you just want to build those skills, like, it's definitely something to consider. I feel like the presentation are honestly the easy part. Because,
I can see that,
because you got to stand in front of people.
Exactly,
And sometimes it's not even a lot of people, but you still got to stand there, which sometimes break your vibes, to be honest. But it's like, you still got to do your job and do it well at that, you know. But for the most part, I really like being DOP.
Okay.
I wish I could stay here forever.
So I have a question. If you guys could have a meal with any Black historical figure, who would it be?
I mean,
I know that's a good question, y'all.
Yeah, it's a good question. Well, if we're going with like someone who's like passed away, you know, like old, I would say Malcolm X, because he's like radical, you know. I wouldn't say like, oh, he was like violent man, but like he was different than what is like mostly talked about in like school and stuff. Like everyone always talking about MLK. People don't talk that much about Malcolm X. So it's like we want to like learn more of like why he was so radical, like what was going through his head, especially at that time and stuff like that. Is different from back then to now. So I want to have dinner with somebody like that to get a different perspective, because I don't necessarily consider myself radical, but when it comes to like political debates and like, I could get a little like like I'm very passionate about like what I'm saying, but I feel like he was really I feel like he was really up here. Like I'm maybe like in the middle, or he's like up here with the passion. So like I want to hear something like that from somebody like him.
For me, it would be, I would say Harriet Tubman, just because she's a woman, and it's like I would love to know like how does she handle it. You know, because sexism is a real thing, especially with going to a PWI. Like, I'm dealing with it, and, you know, like, it's a lot. So I would really just like to ask her advice on how she had the courage to go through all of that with saving all those people. I know she had like a lot of backlash, I'm pretty sure.
A lot.
So it's like, how did you like go through that? How did you handle it? Like,
or even taking the initiative to do it.
Yeah, right.
That's scary, especially
like, back and forth too. It's not even just a one
Yeah.
trip. It's like back and forth, a continuous thing. So. Yeah.
And the pressure, like how we were saying before, like there's a lot of pressure on us. There was a lot of pressure on her too. It's like, how did you do it?
Because
to help me.
It's like all those people who she's saving and the ones expecting her to come back. Like that's a lot. That is a lot.
If you could pick one person, who would it be?
Mine would definitely be Bell Hooks.
Okay.
I love Bell Hooks. I love the work she's done with like feminism, class, race. I remember the first time I read one of her books, it was like all about love, and then from there I was like a little internet geek, like just trying to learn more and more about her. And from that day, like that was someone I was like, damn, me and you, we could have a conversation. It would be a good conversation. I would like to think so. How about you?
I'll make mine's quick. I know you guys seen this on TikTok, but I love my historical figures, but I'm gonna say Jay-Z.
What?
Just because I know you guys seen this on TikTok. It was like, oh, take $100,000 or have a sit-down interview with Jay-Z. I have some questions for Rock Nation. I'm gonna talk to Jay-Z. But anyways.
I agree.
Yeah.
If you know me, you know I love Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Yeah,
like,
so we gonna
connect,
get some answers, definitely. But we're gonna throw to the break real quick. When we come back from break, we're gonna ask BSU some final, good questions. So stick around.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Shine on that black. Look at the bling. Do we got a diamond tester on? Yeah, that's getting bad. Yep. 10 out of 10 recommend on Yelp.
We're going to the playoffs.
I can't believe I missed that.
Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone.
What? I should take your phone away.
No. I'll call for a ride.
Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
I'm gonna need that back.
No.
Kevin.
Welcome back to the bigger picture. Let's ask a couple more questions before tonight's episode is a wrap. So, when the Black Lives Matter movement happened during the COVID-19 pandemic, how do you feel SUNY Oswego as an institution handled the situation? Do you feel like the painting of the Black Lives Matter on the Sheldon pavement or even the Black Lives Matter flag on Sheldon was enough?
I'm saying no, because it was just giving like, oh, here y'all go, like show that, oh, we're not racist necessarily, but we care, but when it comes to actually being here, like you see that BLM flag over there and even at Culkin doesn't really matter to the school, especially that a lot of people say, why did y'all put the BLM stuff in places that are rare to go to? Right. Sheldon is really, you only go over there for like events for at least that we know, or financial aid and stuff.
And even so,
and then like Culkin is facing away from the campus, so it's like, what are we really seeing? It's facing the parking lot, and it's a building that nobody even likes to go to. So
traumatizing.
Yeah, traumatizing. So when it comes to those two things, it's like, you know, performative kind of, because it's not really enough. It's only something to show rather than something to do. I feel like there were incidents around that time as well, people like threatening to hurt black students, and all we really got was an email saying that we can't do anything. And I was just like, I'm supposed to feel safe to come back?
And you're taking all my coins, and this is how you respond.
You're taking my coins, and all you send is a dry email. That's it.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough. Like, it was giving, oh, here you go to shut up, and we're not gonna shut up. That's why we still talk about this stuff about like at the Peace Walk in September or Black Solidarity Day in November. We talk about these things like, this sign behind us isn't enough. Like, we need you to actually do something with the staff, with the professors not actually like pertaining to us, actually caring about us and stuff.
Not respecting us.
Yeah, like all that stuff. It's like, we need more inside work rather than what the campus looks like.
Agree.
That's a good point. So piggyback off of that, do you feel like there's like practices implemented into the community that is allowing like professors or faculty to learn how to communicate with students that come from different backgrounds than them?
No.
I want to say no.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, to be honest, I would just say no.
Because if there were, I wouldn't get microaggressions in class like I
Right.
have been, especially in the past 2 years, like I have been. We have Do-Rag and Bonnet Day on a Wednesday every Black History Month, and last year I got a microaggression saying, oh, like your hat, you just rolled out of bed like that. And I was just like, oh.
Wow.
Okay. So if they did, you know,
That's crazy.
we would see better professors,
Yeah.
but it's more about the professors that actually know what they're talking about, already knew that beforehand.
Yeah. I find it interesting because if you guys tuned into like 2 seasons ago, we brought on the Institute. We had Markel and Tiffany here, and the Institute does a lot of work with implementing workshops that are educating like professors or students in the community on how to like biases, on microaggressions, and just learning how to communicate with people who come from different backgrounds. So I think it's interesting because I know they're doing the work, but it's like, are the professors being receptive of the information that's being provided to them? And I think that's definitely an issue that we've seen over time in SUNY Oswego. And if it's still present, it was present then, it's present now, like how are we gonna do things differently moving forward? So it's like, what can we do? And like, you guys are already playing such a big role being a part of Black Student Union. So it's like, y'all want me to do more than this?
Yeah.
But like, you mentioned something good right there, Kiara. You said playing a big role. And I feel like you guys are definitely role models on this campus, being such important people, especially when it comes to BSU. So I feel like a good way to wrap tonight's episode would be if there are any Black students or just any students in general who are interested in joining BSU or want to learn more about BSU or want to get involved, what is one piece of advice you would give to those students who are looking at you guys like, wow, I want to be a part of that. I want to be in the E-board. I want to be committee. I want to be president, something like that.
I feel like the issue we're having, at least from what I'm hearing about, is that people think E-boards are a lot of work, in which they are, because it's like, you know, you have your schoolwork and then you're picking something else up. It's like an extracurricular activity, essentially. But the thing is, like, it's like a family, and you actually like do stuff that not only benefit you, but benefit everyone in general. So it's like the good outweighs the bad, you know? So I would just say don't be scared to join the E-board just because of the work or because of the people that's on there even. So, you know,
baby steps.
Baby steps.
You want to say something real quick before we wrap up tonight's episode?
Huh? Do I want to say something real
Like a quick advice?
No, like, don't be scared. Like, if you're scared, nothing's ever gonna like happen. Like, if you're scared, you're gonna stay in your comfort zone, and you're just gonna be in your comfort zone. You're gonna be there forever, and you're not gonna improve. You're not gonna change as a person. Because honestly, this stuff looks good on your resume.
It does.
Now, it shouldn't be the only reason
And
why you're in it, but that networking and your resume.